Hello guys, welcome back. Today we're going to cover some camera safety notes and I would like for you guys, my class, to take notes on this. All right, so I will start from the beginning because I know some of you guys were absent yesterday and I want to make sure you guys get the same information. So um, when you guys get a camera, you guys will get it wrapped up like this, and this is called the strap. The strap is wrapped around the lens very gently. When you get it in your hands, this is how you unwrap it. All right. You guys have learned the parts of the camera, so we have been working on that, and now we're going to talk about safety stuff. All right. So the strap can be a danger if you don't use it properly, but the best way to use the camera when you're taking photos is to actually wear the strap around your neck. So this is how I want you guys to wear it at all times when you're going to go take pictures. Never leave the camera at the edge of the table, please. Obviously, if you have the strap and the camera near the edge of the table, it can definitely fall. But if the strap dangles and somehow maybe the strap gets caught on your cell phone, if you have it in your pocket or something, and then it pulls it, it will fall, and therefore you'll have damage and loss of your camera. So please be careful whenever you put the cameras down. Try to put it towards the middle of the table and never at the edge of the table, and especially take care of those straps. Make sure the straps do not dangle off the table. Cameras are very susceptible to a lot of things. One of the things that they are susceptible to are magnets. So you want to make sure you stay with the cameras clear away from the magnets. Things that have magnets are some electronic devices such as speakers. There are other machinery that have magnets, so just be careful and use common sense and not place them near magnets. Tiny little magnets won't really have enough pull, so if you're talking about like the earbuds or something like that, that's not going to matter so much. It's more like the big subwoofers, entertainment centers, things like that. All right. Next thing is the camera is also affected by extreme heat or cold conditions. So you never want to leave the camera in an extreme hot or an extreme cold environment, or even moisture as well. Moisture definitely is a factor to take care of. One thing that I always encourage my students to really be aware of is where they leave the camera when they are not using it. So when you take the camera with you and you have to go places, the camera should stay with you at all times. The camera should never be left in the car, so never leave the camera in the car. Remember, it can get affected by the extreme hot or cold temperatures. And so if you leave it in a car where here in this valley, we have over 100 degrees heat, the car is going to get even hotter than that. So that is an extreme situation for the camera. So never leave the car in a hot car or in a car because it can get hot. The other thing is that then you would have a situation where people can possibly steal it. So theft would give you guys financial loss or media projects loss, and you would have to redo the project and replace your camera. The other situation that might present is that you're going to have your car broken into, and then now you have repair costs as well on top of replacing your camera in the project. So you've got time to replace and money. So be careful and do not leave your cameras in the car. Please be careful of the environment. Avoid sand, dust, smoke, chemicals, moisture. In those situations that can damage the camera, smoke can get inside and make your lens or your compartments inside blurry, so your pictures won't come out clear. Sand can scratch up the inside of your components that are mechanically moving. Same with dust and chemicals and other type of moisture from the environment. So please be careful and protect your cameras. Number 8, water. Within this class, what I tell my students is if you guys get water in the camera, it really depends on how much water we're talking about. There is a difference between it accidentally fell in the pool versus I was washing my hands or somebody was washing their hands, like a little bit splashed on top of the camera. So depending on the situation, it really depends what you're going to do. But for the overall arching idea, you'll want to pat dry with a towel, pat dry the camera with a towel. And if a lot of water, if there's excess water, like in the pool, it did get inside, you might want to take the lens off and try to, encourage the water to come out as best as possible, and then let it dry. And the next step is to inform me if it's one of these classroom cameras. All right. The one thing you do not want to do is do not put it in rice. Do not put it in rice. Rice has starch, and with the water component and everything, the starch can seep into the camera, making it difficult for the mechanical stuff to work inside again. So you can possibly ruin the camera. So please do not put it in rice. Rice works great for cell phones who do not have mechanical parts and entryways, but the cameras have a lot of mechanical and a lot of little holes where the starch can seep into and then basically ruin your camera. So do not put it in rice. Just as soon as possible, just inform me of what happened, and then we'll, deal with whatever we can. But the main thing is have a way for the water to get out, as best as possible. So removing the lens might be necessary to let most of the water out that might be trapped in it. Where you go, the camera goes. Please never leave it in another classroom. When you have your own cameras, that should be a rule for yourself as well. It is very easy to forget, or, I actually found a camera at an airport one time, and, I went and turned it into the lost and found. I didn't even open it. It was a camera bag, and I took it in. People forget it. People can steal it if you put it, somewhere where you think it'll be okay, maybe in the locker, or I don't know. It just depends on, your situation. But my main rule is just like a purse. If you go somewhere, the camera goes with you. It's always with you. Lenses. If you have a zoom lens, one of those lenses that zoom in and zoom out, you have a really great lens that you may not need to change lenses, because those zoom lenses do a lot of different things. So it allows you to have variable situations in regards to depth on how you can take that picture. So avoid changing lenses if it's possible, and definitely avoid changing lenses if there's wind. Dust, sand, water, and smoke, like we talked about, it can all get into your sensor, and you want to avoid that. If you must change lenses, let me give you guys some tips, all right? You must protect your camera from wind. Please, number one, sit down, do it in a safe place, and be careful of dust. So if it's a windy area outside and you need to change lenses, go inside, do it inside. Make sure you're sitting down so you're not trying to juggle things while you're standing up. And the table would be a really great place for you to sit and exchange those lenses. So again, do it in a safe place, sit down, and be careful of dust. When you are done taking photos, you'll have the cap off because you have been taking pictures. Make sure the cap goes back onto the camera. Make sure the camera is off. There's the off and on button. And make sure your strap is wrapped around the lens. Let's talk about this bag. Okay, so this is one of the bags that you might get. And so you'll want to put your camera with the lens faced up. All right, so it sits like this inside the camera. The other compartments are for battery charger, whatever you might need. Most of them have a little zip area where you can put lens cleaners. When you are done shooting, the last step to do, once you've done, you make sure the camera is off and make sure that the lens cap is back on and the strap is wrapped around the lens. gently. Then you want to make sure you zip up your bag. This one does not have a zipper. This one has latches, so you want to make sure you latch that. Okay. The bag is the safest place for the camera to be. That it's undisputed. It's just the safest place for the camera to be because it is padded all around. It has a handle and a strap so you can wear it and hold it at the same time. It is the safest place for the camera. When you are traveling with a camera, you want to take the strap of the bag and put it across your chest, just like this. You don't want to have it like this, and you definitely do not want to have it like a purse. This is a big no-no. It can fall, it can get stolen that way. This is the best and safest place for you to carry a camera. In a crowded place, this is the best way to do it. If you're like in an airport or you're going through a big crowd, you can move the camera quickly and swiftly to wherever you need to get by with this handle. And this strap secures it to you as well. All right. When you are going back to the camera and cleaning cloths, when you're having to clean the lens, let's say there's a fingerprint or a smudge or something on your lens. This one's pretty clean, so it doesn't have anything on it. But if you were to have to change clean, use a microfiber cloth. We have some like these in the classroom, but you might have some of your own where you use for your own glasses. Those are all microfiber. You want to make sure you use a microfiber cloth. Do not use anything else other than a microfiber cloth or this specific specialized cleaning tissue that I can usually give to my students, and I ran out. There's absolutely none in here. Usually I have them put it in this slot of the bag so that you have it with you wherever you go. Okay, but we will fill them out, and it looks like a little tissue, and it's small, just this size, about hand size. So for cleaning your lens, those are the only two things that I recommend for you guys to use to get rid of smudges. The camera in this classroom will be signed out to you. You and I will both sign out the camera. So there is a paper form that we will fill where we both check out the mechanics of the camera, and you will be taking these cameras out for assignments that will require you to take pictures outside of school. So we both sign it out. When the camera is signed out to you, you are responsible until you and the teacher, me, sign it back in. All right. Let me see what else we need to cover. Do not carry the camera in your backpack. We do not take very good care of backpacks. We throw them on the ground. People step on them because they're usually on the floor. So please do not put your camera in the backpack. Always carry the bag across your chest like I showed you. Once the camera is signed out to you, you are responsible for the camera. Do not let anyone borrow the camera. If they break it, guess who is responsible for it? You are responsible for it. It is your responsibility. If they lose it, again, whose responsibility is it? The person who signed it out. Okay, that is who is responsible. If a friend has this particular class and you signed it out, it is still your responsibility. So you cannot lend it to someone who has this class as well. All right, that is still a no-go. So you are responsible for anything that happens to that camera. So please, for that reason, it is not allowed for anyone else to use the camera that belongs to this classroom. Even if their parents are with them or promise not that, they won't do anything to it, nothing will happen. Absolutely do not, never let anyone use the camera when it is signed out to you. Even if you're on campus, if you're back on campus, it is still your responsibility. If you're back into this class and you're here, if you haven't signed it in, it is still your responsibility. So please make sure that when you are back, you go straight to have it signed back with you and me together. You will be responsible until you and the teacher sign it in together. We check the camera functions when we check it out, and we do the same when we check it in. So we check that everything's in perfect condition, just like I checked it out to you. We expect you guys to take good notes, and you can pause the video and rewind if you need to. But that is all I have for you today. So that way everybody got the information in the video and everybody's on the same page. All right, guys, have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you guys later.